there. Today I am going to take you a little bit behind the scenes and show you the process of how I make the stuffed animals that I am creating. This is going to be a little less polished. Clearly I'm not sitting down and doing like a reveal of what I've made this week. So I've got a couple projects in process and we'll get to that. But first I want to tell you how I go about doing this. So mostly it starts off with me sitting on the couch with a ball of Bernat blanket yarn, which looks like this. I believe this is the almond color. Very soft. I love the texture. And since I'm primarily making like toys for children or something that you would find in a nursery, I think it's very appropriate that I begin there. I also use a pea-sized hook. I originally started with Q, which is a size bigger, but it was making my projects a little too loose. So I stopped. Then as I am crocheting, I write down my process. So this is what it looks like. I write down the row numbers. I kind of messed up there, but I write down the row numbers and what you're supposed to do and the total number of stitches that you're supposed to have at the end of the row. And there's a lot of this, which pretty much means I made a row and then I tore it out because I didn't like it, and so I had to change it again. So that's how it goes. Or I'll have an entire thing, I'll put it near the animal and cross it out. Like I've got that cute note to myself, nope, try again. So that is definitely a big part of the process. Then when I get the bodies done, right now I'm showing what I've got right now that I've been working on this week is the baby elephant body. I finally have it to where I like it. And then I'm working on doing a second snowy owl. So once I get them to the stage where the body is completely done, I have to start prepping the fleece. Alright, so to prep the fleece ready, I start over here at my computer, and let's see if you can see. I actually draw the shapes up in Revit, and so these are the shapes for the baby elephant cut out. So I go ahead and make those and I print them off and then take it back over to the kitchen table. So back over here at the table, I take my my pattern. This was a test one. I made a note to myself that the ear was too small, so I actually blew it up, made that a little bit bigger. And I cut them out, specifically using paper scissors, and then I pin it onto the fleece and cut out the shapes. Then what I do is I take the same, I take the shapes that I've cut out, and then I cut one more time right by the dotted line, and I flip the fleece onto the back side. I put this here, and then with a fine tipped marker I mark on the back side of the fleece where I'm supposed to cut. And so that gives me the number of holes that I need to crochet into. So then I go through with a very sharp tipped scissors and cut little tiny holes. Let's see, where's my camera? Yeah, you can't see it too well, but I've got little tiny holes where each of my marks are. Yeah, so that's how I do the fleece, and then I begin. So this is one of the baby elephant feet that I'm working on. So I crochet in through those holes, and I actually use a smaller size hook than the P. I'll use an H usually, so that I don't stretch out those holes too much. And then I have this nylon here, and I stuff the stuffing into the nylon because otherwise, there are holes in here. You can kind of see where my finger can come through. Because I don't want them to be so tight that there's no give. So I stuff in the fiber fill into a nylon to keep it all together, and then when it's all done, I'll tie off the nylon, hide it in there, and finish it off. So that's that. So then when I'm completely done assembling them, well, if they're the final draft, if they're not the final draft, they don't get to go up here. I put them up here on my top shelf above my computer so I can look at them and be inspired by them as well, because I'm really very impressed with how they turn out most of the time. So they go there, and then I go back to the computer. So then here at the computer, I work in Adobe InDesign to put the pattern into the computer. And you'll see that I follow the same format that I do when I'm just writing it down in my notebook. I've got the row number, what you're supposed to do, and then the total number of stitches you're supposed to have at the end. And then I also include a lot of pictures of the process of how it all goes together, because I want people to be able to make these. So this is an example of the first sheet pattern I came up with. I'll be redoing it, and it will be a little bit different, but it will be really cute, I think. So there you have it. That is my behind the scenes kind of tour, showing the process of how I create the animals, going from writing in a notebook sitting on the couch to photographing as I go, preparing the fleece to getting it actually typed up and in the computer. It's kind of a process, but it's a fulfilling one as well. I really enjoy it. There's something about the creative process that even when you're tearing out something, and you're like, dang it, I really wanted those rows to work and it didn't. It's still fun. It's still fun to develop and see what you can come up with just with a crochet hook and an idea. So that's really enjoyable for me. My goal for next week, I didn't make tons of progress this week, just busy, and I have a 1-year-old and she keeps us very busy. So my goal for next week is to either get the snowy owl done or the baby elephant. I'm leaning toward the baby elephant. So that's the update for week 6, week 7. Wow, time's going by fast, folks. And I will